I breathe in. I breathe out. I have no fear. I have no doubt. In the silence, truth is revealed. I am loved. I am healed. I breathe in. I breathe out. I have no fear. I have no doubt. In the silence, truth is revealed. I am loved. I am healed. I breathe in. I breathe out. I have no fear. I have no doubt. In the silence, truth is revealed. I am loved. I am healed.
Beautiful, Brian. Thank you. And in the silence of this very now moment, let's become aware of the fullness of the whole Spirit of God by rising and taking someone's hand if you feel comfortable doing so. And we'll join in singing Surely the Present.
Presence of the Lord
And continuing in the silence of this now moment, let us take a deep breath together. We breathe in the great cosmic breath that permeates all creation. We know that the fullness of the Spirit is right here, right now, living and dwelling and having its being as each and every one of us. When we come together, we create an energy field of love and vibration and spirit. We are so blessed. This day of the equinox, this day of balance, this day when we bring our outer active lives into the stillness and begin our time of inner contemplation. Holy Spirit, we know that you come by invitation. Today we create the conditions that allow you to move and dwell and have your being as us. We feel your presence. We know your light. We see it in each and every individual who is gathered here. And we are so grateful for the support and love that this community brings. Today, only today, this is the day the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it as we allow ourselves to continue to ground ourselves in the awareness of the Spirit. And so it is. Amen and amen. Please welcome Charlie Thweat.
You have a minister who is on her toes, don't you? Yeah. She just said who? So I'm Charlie. She just finished with "It Will Ground Us," and this song is called "Feet on the Ground." So there's a little lead in, clever lead in there. So the song is called "Feet on the Ground." It's pretty simple. There are not going to be any words on the PowerPoint other than the title, and the song is about, you know, all these things we're learning here. Do you ever feel like sometimes you kind of keep those unity principles up in woo-woo land? Maybe you need to really ground them into your life, you know, kind of really integrate this, really embody what we're learning. So this is about that. The words are very simple. Put your feet on the ground, And then part 2, be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart. So that's all the words you need to know. So can I invite you to stand up, put your feet on the ground, and we're going to have a little fun with this, okay? So rock to your right and to your left, to your right. Feel your feet connecting. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Sing that. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart again. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. Okay, that was part 1. Here comes part 2. would you find a partner near you and take both of their hands? So this is about connection. So find some, you might need to move around, find somebody, take both their hands, and look in both of their eyes. If you're trapped in an aisle, maybe escape or something. And we're going to sing it once more. Here we go. Feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. Give a big hug. Hug your partner. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, that's fine.
Unity on the River is a center of celebration, transformation, inspiration, oneness, and joy. Those are the standards on which we live. Let's remember them as we say together, first our mission and then our vision statement. We are a vibrant spiritual community that celebrates the presence in all and awakens humanity to its divinity. And our vision, centered in love, we joyously co-create a world of oneness, peace, and harmony. And that is the truth. And so it is. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Unity on the River. I'm Reverend Shipley Allenson. I'd love to know if there's anyone celebrating with us for the first time. If you would raise your hands. Good morning. Good morning. Wonderful. All right. How great to see you. How many of you came to see Charlie? Did you know of Charlie before? All right. Beautiful. Wow. Well, please know that we welcome all paths to God. We love having you here. You are here by divine appointment, and we know that you will receive something that will encourage your spiritual journey. If you hold on to that flower, someone will introduce themselves to you after the service and take you to the welcome table and give you a CD that tells you more about who we are. So great to have you. So you've already heard him. I'm going to introduce him more formally in a few minutes, but this is a great day for God. We have a very special guest, Charlie Thweat. Give him a warm Unity welcome. Yeah. This is when we're going to have a couple of announcements, and I need the reminders up there. Thank you. So, thank you. Yes, Charlie's message today, leap, look, and listen. You'll hear more about him in a few minutes, but I want you to know about after the service at 12 o'clock, he is going to be giving a I Am the Wind concert and spiritual workshop. He is a musician, songwriter, and a spiritual teacher. So you will want to be part of that. And we have a lunch for $5 in between, so you won't go hungry. So be sure to go out there. And you know what? I'm just going to stop for a second here and talk about hospitality. Last week was the first week that we have gone back to the alphabet system. And boy, did we have a feast out there. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I just really want to thank all of you. This is a community that loves and serves each other, and you've been in the energies of giving, and that is such a beautiful thing to see. I honor you, and I thank you. Next week is the fifth Sunday of the month, so there's no letters of the alphabet, so everybody gets to bring something. Yahoo! Won't that be fun? Okay. So, Charlie will also be here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. He is a student of the Course in Miracles, a long-time student of the Course in Miracles, and he will be presenting in the Heart of the Course in Miracles. So you'll want to be here for that as well. Adventures in Faith, our adventure on our own spiritual faith begins next Sunday, the 29th, I believe it is. Yep. We are using Janet Connor's book, The Lotus and the Lily. This week I finally had some time to really delve into it. It is the perfect book. This year has been the year of emergence, moving from ego to essence. Janet's book is the perfect book for that. She brings together the teachings of the Buddha and the Aramaic Jesus. And the main teaching will be, we don't go about our lives asking for things. We create the conditions to make them welcome. So this book is about creating the conditions so that all of God's good can flow into our lives. And there are wonderful practices throughout the book. You are going to learn to go into theta, brainwaves theta, so that you can do soul writing as opposed to journaling. You will prepare for a one-day retreat at the end of the 7 weeks, a day for yourself, and a day to create a mandala. And I didn't really know that much about mandalas before, but I'm learning from Janet that they are not static circles, round pieces of paper flat. They are, in fact, three-dimensional, and they are dynamic. They have energy. They are ancient practices that have a lot of movement that help you to bring forth the life that you want to live. So you will love doing that, and you're going to don't forget to get a soul slinky so we can send waves of intention and gratitude out into the world. We are selling them in the bookstore. You can get them at any bookstore, toy store, or on Amazon. This week, here's your assignments. Get a slinky. Most important. Sign up out in fellowship area. There are 7 home study groups. Wonderful way to get to know each other. Wonderful way to go deeper with this work. To support each other on the journey. Read in the book. The books are out in the bookstore now, The Lotus and the Lily, and the companion journaling book, if you would like that. Read the whole first welcome section up to the first day so that you can be on top of it all and part of the discussion. This is going to be a great adventure. Okay. Wednesday evening this week, we have the Wondrous Blessing at 12:30. Heather Westcott is going to be at 6:30. What did I say? 12:30. Sometime out there, Oh boy. It's Charlie's fault. He changed everything today, and now I can't remember when anything goes. He changed my podium. He changed my microphone. It's like, I just don't know. Anyway. Heather Westcott will be our presenter. Heather has been studying New Thought principles since 1980. There's Heather back there. Yep. She's been part of Unity for 10 years. She's spoken at many Unity centers. Heather is the one when Hurricane Katrina came. She went down to Mississippi to help with her recovery there, and she and her husband are now helping with Superstorm Sandy recovery also. So she's a beautiful soul. You want to hear her. All right. Beautiful. All right, this is our time when we greet each other. We invite you to look at each other and say, I see you. I see your magnificence. Hey, Al. I see who you are. I remember your truth. Namaste. I forgot my glasses. No, I didn't. Okay. I know. I'm breathing. So remember all those things like a couple of weeks ago I told you about Charlie, that he's got a dog named Milo, and that he's got dimples, and that he studied hip-hop. Was anybody here when I said all that? I was lying. None of it was true. Was it wrong, Charlie? We've got a better Charlie. He's not from Memphis, Tennessee. He's from Santa Cruz, California. Yes, that's close. So we are so blessed. He has loved music all his life. As in the teenage years, he thought he was going to be like the Beatles. You know, everybody gets. But, the Spirit was saying, you can't do music for a living, right? And so he went into architecture. But after 3 years in that field, the Spirit was knocking at the door pretty strong. And he took the big leap of faith and went out into the world as a spiritual troubadour and spiritual teacher, which he has been doing for the last 31 years. Yeah, and he has been with the best of the best. He spent 7 years with Alan Cohen. Are you familiar with him? The Joy is My Compass and The Dragon Doesn't Live Here Anymore. Oh, love him. And let me just tell you a few of the others that he's opened for or co-partnered with. Jerry Jampolsky, Hugh Prather, Ram Dass, Terry Cole Whitaker, Tony Robbins, Gene Houston, Deepak Chopra, Bernie Siegel, Barbara Marx Hubbard, Louise Hay, Barbara King, Michael Beckwith, Mary Mann and Marcy, Shakti Gawain, and Wayne Dyer. I always say Dyer. Whoa, yeah! Charlie's CDs he has a table out in the bookstore area, is it? Yes, which I'm sure he would love to sign for you, but you'd want to see him after the service. And now I say to you, would the real Charlie Thweat please stand up?
Are we on? It was the funniest thing at dinner last night. She was asking me all these questions about hip-hop and some dog named Milo. And I don't know where that came from. So. Okay, so I have flipped I can understand why there's a little confusion. I've flipped the service around. We're going to do meditation now before the talk. And there's a song that came to me a few years ago. I was reading my Course in Miracles lesson entitled I Am Spirit. I started to hear music to some of the words on the page, and it turned into this little song. And there are two parts to the song, so I'll have you sing one part, I'll sing another after you get started. And then I started to travel in Italy a lot, and this little phrase, I am spirit, suddenly it was easy to translate into Io sono spirito. Will you say that with me? Io sono spirito. So if you're in Italy and you want to walk up to someone and say, I am spirit, that's what you would say. And so I'll get you singing that, and then once you get going, I'll sing another part from that lesson, paraphrased, in English. You'll hear me singing, Spirit am I, a holy child of God, free to forgive, safe and healed and whole. So this is who we are already as spirit. We're just claiming these qualities. So first, would you just say with me, I am spirit? I am spirit. Let's say that again. I am spirit. So remember, that's what you're singing when you sing Io sono spirito. The way we'll do this, the song is going to start really softly. We'll build up big, come back down soft at the end, and then into silence. And we'll just be in that silence maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Sometimes it's nice to just let that song ring. This is a really beautiful song for going into silence. And after that, we'll have a little bit of a guided meditation, not very long, and that'll be our meditation, okay? So let's look one more time before you close your eyes. Io sono spirito. Can I get you to dim that slide so no one's tempted to peek? We'll just keep our eyes closed. So let's close our eyes, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Let's take in a deep breath, in. Io sono spirito, io sono spirito, io sono spirito. Goes down a little. Io sono spirito, io sono spirito. Io sono spirito. Io sono spirito. Keep singing. Io sono spirit am I, a holy child of God, free to forgive, safe and healed and whole. Spirit am I, a holy child of God, free to forgive, safe and healed and whole. Io sono spirito. Io sono spirito, io sono spirito, io sono spirit am I, a holy child of God, free to forgive, safe and healed and whole. Spirit am I, a holy child of God, free to forgive, safe and healed and whole. Io sono spirito, io sono spirito, io sono spirito, io sono spirit am I, a holy child of God, free to forgive, safe and healed and whole. Spirit am I, a holy child of God, free to forgive, safe and healed and whole. Io sono spirito, io sono spirito, io sono spirito, io sono spirito. Io sono spirito, io sono spirito, io sono spirito, io sono spirit am I. Spirit am I. A holy child of God. Free to forgive. Safe and healed and whole. I am spirit. I am spirit. And as spirit, I am connected to a deep well of peace. A deep well of silence. And I bring that to every situation in my life. As I look out through these eyes into my world, I remember who I am. I am spirit. I am spirit. And really, it doesn't matter so much what I'm looking at as where I'm looking from. It doesn't matter so much what I'm looking at as where I'm looking from. And I look from spirit. I look from spirit. I am spirit. Let's say that together. I am spirit. Together, I am spirit. Let's say that again. Together. I am spirit. Let's say it once more. This time just whisper it to yourself softly. Together. I am spirit. And thank you, God, that this is so. May we deeply, truly know it and live it. We are spirit. We are spirit. And so it is, and so we are. Amen. Amen. Storms will come and storms will go. It's not always fun, but then you'll know how to be free and let life prove you only are free when you let things move. Storms will come and storms will go. Just stand in the wind and let things blow. Blow you away and cleanse your soul. You're willing to say what you can't control. And then you fly on the wind, and then you soar into your beginning. and then you sail, sail on the wind, and then you dive into your beginning, into your beginning. Storms will come and storms will go. It's not always fun, but then you'll know how to be free and let life prove you only are free when you let things move. And then you fly, fly on the wind, and then you soar into your beginning, and then you sail, sail on the wind, and then you dive into your beginning, into your beginning, into your beginning, into your beginning. Storms will come. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Charlie. Let's welcome him again for the talk now.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, have you ever had a storm come here before? It doesn't snow here, does it? I don't think so. Yeah. So my talk is Leap, Look, and Listen. Michelle had some great leaping slides. It was fun. Did you see the fish going from one fishbowl to another? I love that. So, but anyway, I love it when a speaker starts with a joke. So I have a joke for you. And this is about a guy who dies and goes to heaven. So he shows up at the pearly gates. But the only thing is, he has this sack over his shoulder. And St. Peter sees this and he says, "Well, I'm sorry, sir, no earthly belongings allowed." And the guy says, "But you got to let me bring this in." And, "No, sorry, that's the rules. But this is like the essence of all the work I've done on earth." And by now, St. Peter's curious what could be so important in this sack. And so the guy sets the sack down, and St. Peter opens it and looks in, and he pulls out the entire contents, which is these 10 bars of gold, these 10 gold bricks. And St. Peter looks at the gold and looks at the guy, and he says, "So, you want to bring in pavement?" Rolling laughter. So it's a cute joke, and I think there's a little message there. What really has value? Sometimes maybe we kind of misplace our sense of what has value. And in my talk, Leap, Look, and Listen, are we still on? I heard the volume change. We good? I want to look at 3 areas in my life. There were 3 major turning points that have happened with me, and how the spiritual lessons I learned, and each of those really, these lessons apply to everyone. Okay, so we have Leap, Look, and Listen. So there's been a little bit of mention of the leap part of my story. I grew up loving music. I started with music, singing in the 1st, 2nd grade. I loved singing. Around the 3rd grade, my mom used to play ukulele in the living room all the time, and so once I stopped her and said, "Hey, can you show me how to do that?" And so at 8 years old, I'm off and running, strumming, playing chords, singing, and a little 2-chord song. And that led to a lot of music, just loving music as a kid, learned lots of instruments, guitar, bass, violin, electric bass. That was we're going to be like the Beatles part of my story. And anyway, so I got to time of going to college. I'm thinking, hey, it's a no-brainer. I'll be a music major. I love music. And my dad had a little talk with me, and he's actually a very supportive dad and very open-minded. And he said, you could definitely do music, Charlie, but just so you know, often musicians end up traveling, and it might be hard to raise a family. And so I thought about that. Well, yeah, I do want to be a dad. I want to, have a family. So I kind of looked at other options. And through a long, winding road, I ended up getting a 5-year degree in architecture. So very practical. And I remember, in the architecture school, we'd pull a lot of all-nighters working on projects, probably because we're unorganized 20-year-olds. But so I remember being up like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning at the architecture school. I was working on some model. And I just walked outside to get some fresh air. And I remember looking up at the stars and thinking, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Is this it? But I continued on, put my head down, got the degree, started working in corporate architecture in these big high-rise buildings, and in my little drafting cubicle. And I remember being there, and this is very safe. I had my regular paycheck and my benefits and all, but I was sitting there in my little cubicle thinking, what am I doing here? Is this it? What am I doing here? And I swear to you, the architects and engineers walking by my cubicle, they had to be looking in thinking, what is he doing here? If you're not in your right place, maybe other people notice it too. But anyway, here I was in my little safe cubicle with my regular paycheck, my benefits, and at the same time feeling like maybe I'm dying this kind of slow death. Am I going to be in this cubicle forever? It's a slow death with benefits. So then, now meanwhile, I was starting to get on my spiritual journey, and these songs I was writing began to reflect that inner development that was happening. And a friend of mine heard some of the songs I've been writing, and she said, oh, I know some people that would really like these songs. She said, have you ever been to a Unity church? I said, no, and so she gave me a phone number, and there was a big one in town that had a very active music program, and and so I called up, and they said, yeah, come on down, we need one more male voice, so I walked in the door, and for a rehearsal, like on a Thursday night, and it felt like instant community, like wow, like I suddenly have this whole new branch of my family I'd never met, and it was like wow, I felt at home, and it was beautiful. And in the process, I would be like in the little choral productions, I'd be on the back row kind of hiding, getting used to being on stage. And eventually, I let the music director know about some of my songs I'd written, and I did a solo on a Sunday for the first time. I remember my knees were knocking together so much because I wasn't used to doing this, but another part of me just felt hungry for it. Like that was my firewalk. This is what I'm called to do. And then eventually the music director said, hey, we're going to go do music on a Sunday morning at a church about an hour away. Do you want to come along? So the 3 of us went. We did morning music. We did afternoon concert for 2 hours. And that concert was the turning point for me, because when we had 2 hours to just do this journey with music, and it's not about the songs, it's not about the music, but it's where the music takes us. What does it open? It's about awakening that happens through the music. And 2 hours of that, I said, oh my God, I can't not do this. You know that feeling of something you can't not do? And it's like the next day, Monday morning at work, I gave my 2 weeks notice and just said, I have to. And this was a little bit like asking God to help me walk on water, because there's no visible means of support. How's this going to work? I'm just going to step out, and somehow this is going to happen. Now, I had a little bit of savings, most of which I plowed into my first recording, just to invest in that. And what happened was, with every step, somehow enough showed up. I was always covered. Something came, something fell together, always something came. By me taking that leap into what I was truly given to do. Now, I could have sat in that cubicle, I could have been safe, but there wasn't life in that for me. And so I was called to give my gifts, to do that stretch. And like I said, it wasn't a get-rich-quick scheme, but there was a richness in my heart. The bank account of my heart is huge from all the experiences, all the ways that I've been blessed and I've been a blessing. And that's part of what this is about. How can we continue to be a blessing and add to other people's lives? There's probably someone in your past, or several people, that were these little turning point people,
where they were a big part of your spiritual journey. Now it's your chance to pass the baton on. And that's going to happen by really extending ourselves, doing some stretching. And maybe you're doing it already, but is there some project that's been on the back burner, some gift you haven't given yet? What is your next stretch? What is your next leap? To really get into the game. Okay, so that was the leap part of my story. The look part happened early in my spiritual journey. I wandered into the spiritual workshop, and as soon as I walked in, there was a man and woman leading it, and I noticed something in their eyes where already I trusted them. Like I saw some energy, and I said, I want to know what they're doing. You know that feeling? You meet someone, it's like, what are they doing? And so I had an immediate trust, and they led us, they talked, they led us through a few exercises. The only thing I remember from that night, really, is this one exercise where they said, okay, everybody find a partner. Imagine if someone says this to you. Find a partner, turn your chairs where you're facing each other knee to knee, and for the next 20 minutes, just look in your partner's eyes in silence. In fact, let's do that right now. Would you turn your chairs? Well, my first thought was, we're going to do what? But that sounds very nerve-wracking. But I remember I trusted them. It's like, okay, well, let's see where this goes. So I didn't know anybody there. I picked some guy. We faced each other, and here we go for 20 minutes. And I remember my first thoughts were, oh my God, he can see my soul. I feel so exposed, And I remember my next thought was, what? It's only been 3 minutes? It was mostly 20 minutes of my mind chattering, really. It might have gotten still a couple of times, but just like nervous mind chatter and wow, the longest 20 minutes of my life. And at the end of the evening, they said, if anyone wants to come back, and 4 days from now, we're going to get together again, do another workshop. So come back if you like. And I felt called. And I ended up doing that exercise many, many times. And the more I did it, the more I found that silent place between the thoughts, where your mind is just still. And that's a beautiful place instead of just the chatter, chatter, chatter. And I began to have that, the eyes are the windows of the soul, began to have that connection with the other person. It would be momentary, just like really seeing that kind of joined place. And then the more I did it, a new thing began to happen, where I could tell when the other person's mind was still and when it was chattering. I could see the difference. And I kind of didn't believe that. I had to kind of check it out. So I broke the rules where I asked ahead of time, do you mind if I talk? I just need to check this. And I was nailing it every time. I could feel the difference. I could see it. And why would that work that way? My answer is that as we drop more and more into how we are truly connected, we talk about oneness, the oneness movement, it's the name on the building, really, unity, oneness. We start to tap into the truth of that, to where we really are connected in consciousness. And we go around thinking we're so separate. And sometimes just a simple exercise starts to peel away those veils of how connected we are. So then we took it a step further. We did a marathon on a Saturday. A bunch of us got together, and we found partners, and we sat across from them for 20 minutes in silence, took a quick break, a second set of 20 minutes, same partner, a little break, a third set of 20 minutes, a little break, a fourth set of 20 minutes. About halfway through that fourth set, I had become so merged with my partner that there was this moment where I couldn't remember which body I was looking out of. We just hit bedrock. It was like fully in that oneness. And that was remarkable. It changed my life. It doesn't mean I'm enlightened or don't have problems, but I can't see you the same as I used to. I see our connection, our oneness, that it's us. Some people talk about the body of Christ. There are different ways to say it, the oneness, the unified field, the mass consciousness, whatever. But to touch that changes everything. And I didn't have to read a stack of spiritual books this tall. I didn't have to go sit by myself on a mountain for 3 years. It's just kind of what's right here under our noses if we'll just stop and just be who we are. And just to stop. But we rarely stop, do we? Just to hang out and be and just share consciousness. So that changed my life. So how does this apply to you? You may never sit in silence for 20 minutes across from someone. But what I've noticed is, I grew up, born in the 50s, growing up in this, all these decades, watching how, you pass somebody on the street, you kind of usually avert your vision, look away. But it seems like with each passing decade, we're kind of more open to really connecting, seeing each other. I've seen that in our culture. Can we take it a step further in just seeing who we are, spirit to spirit? We sang about that, io sono spirito. I think spirit would be happy to look spirit in the eyes. For some reason, we kind of put these veils of fear between us, or separation, or I don't want to go there, or I don't want to invade your space, or I don't want to be invaded. But can we drop that? Brian was singing about that. I can let go of my fear, my doubt. Just be in that connection. Now, this is not the same. Do you remember junior high staring contests? This is not that. That's more like being pushy with our energy. I feel it's like, for me, it's like I'm kind of stacked up over here. The doors are open for business. And I'm available to be connected with. So it's not pushy. But, and so that to really look, to really see who we are. We talk about it every Sunday. Can we live in that consciousness, in that way of being? And even with people that maybe family members, a lot of people in our lives, we've known forever. Maybe they don't come to this church. Maybe they have it's a whole different kind of mindset. We have so many stories wrapped around some people in our lives. Can we let go of those stories and know that they too are that same consciousness, that same spirit on some level, that's right there. I am spirit, looking at spirit. Okay, so let's leap and look. So the last part of my story is listen. I was chatting a little bit with Meg about this before the service, because this last thing really showed up with me in the way songs shifted and how songs would come to me. And you may not think of yourself as a songwriter, but there's a way this applies to you. It used to be a song would just come when it came. I couldn't predict it. I couldn't control it. I'd be walking down the sidewalk. My feet would have a certain rhythm. I'd heard music that goes with that beat. Or I'd be lying in bed and hear a song and have to get up and catch it before it went away. But then there came a time when I wanted to write a song for someone on her birthday. And that's not how it works. You don't get to pick the day. But I got out my guitar and my blank piece of paper and my recorder, and I got ready, and I began to think, well, what chords might be nice? What's a good chord progression? And it really wasn't flowing. It felt very clunky, not like real music. And in the middle of that, I heard a voice. And I wasn't really used to hearing voices, but it said three things. It was very emphatic. It said three things. It said, close your eyes, shut up, and listen. So I thought, okay, and I closed my eyes, and in the silence, I started to hear this little wisp of a melody. I'd never heard this melody before, and I thought, well, that's pretty, and I sang that to my recorder, and I listened some more, and I heard some more. And then once I had enough of a melody, I found, well, what are the guitar chords that go with that? And I found those, and I started to record that, and then some words started coming, and within 30 minutes, I had a complete song, just from getting out of the way. And it's kind of like there's this little thread dangling down from heaven, and my job is to reach up, to get quiet enough to notice, then reach and pull the thread down and keep pulling on the thread, and then there's more threads, and it becomes like broadcloth, all this raw material coming in. And I have certain gifts and talents, and my job is to kind of trim it and cut it and rearrange it and organize it, and boom, there's this beautiful song that feels like it came from some other dimension. Like, it's hard to claim I wrote that song, but I opened up to this amazing stuff coming through. So like I said, maybe you don't think you're a songwriter. How can this apply to you? Well, maybe there's something else in your life. You're looking for a way to envision your next career step, or how are you going to redecorate the living room, or whatever. Can you close your eyes and let a larger, a greater source be part of how that comes into your life? Or then there's, listening for guidance. We all have that question, God, what do I do? God, what would you have me do in this situation? Just to stop and get still and ask and see what you hear. Have you ever done that? You ask God, what do I do? And you hear an answer, and you're not sure you like that answer. So you go, do you have any other answers? Well, part two is if you're going to ask and if you're going to listen and hear, maybe part two is to surrender to that answer and go with it and see where that leads. Maybe there's a reason you heard that. And you might have the thought, but wow, what if something goes wrong? Or maybe I get bumps and get some bruises. And well, you're already getting bumps and bruises, aren't you? It's not like you're avoiding that. Why not have some bumps and bruises going with what you heard God tell you? And let that be that adventure, and get to the next place and listen and hear. That's how I got here. That's why I'm standing on your stage, listening, and where am I guided to be? Who should I call? And then to receive a call, even an invitation. So to listen. Have you ever played with a pendulum? Anyone here? Years ago, someone said, try this. If you haven't tried it, you get a pendulum, and you ask yes/no questions. So, and you kind of test for it, but generally clockwise is yes, counterclockwise is no. And so I was playing with it, but part of what I chose to do was to surrender to the answer. So I didn't ask any big life-changing questions, but you get, do I do this? Yes, no, and I get a yes. So I'd go do it and just see what would happen. Get to the next place. Well, this, yes, no, and it was quite an adventure. And what was interesting about it is that it opened up that part in me that was willing to surrender, and also the part that was willing to listen, just stop and listen and go with guidance. And what I noticed is that then that became innate in me. And after about a week, I could toss the pendulum because I had activated that part of me that was willing to ask, willing to listen, and willing to follow through. I wrote a song some years ago called I Thank You. There's a verse in there about that. It says, so I listen to your guidance when and where you'd have me be. Then I place myself into your hands, and I do it gratefully. Can we be grateful for the answers we're getting from God and to follow through with that? I think I'd be very grateful if you started to open up a pipeline to a greater source, and to learn to go with that, to listen, to follow through. Leap, look, and listen. What's your next leap, your next stretch to give your gifts, to get off the bench into the game, to be an inspiration for others? Look, how can we more deeply truly see who we are, being to being, spirit to spirit, in a deep, loving, open, friendly way? And listen. Are you available to God's guidance, to creation coming through? How can you stretch to step more into that, to really be alive in that process in your life? So leap, look, and listen. May you be blessed as you grow in each of these areas. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Clarissa Pencola Esty said, when great ships are in the harbor, they are safe. It is true, but that's not what great ships are made for. So thank you for leaping.
Thank you.
And getting out of the harbor.
Thank you.
And it was the perfect lead into Janet Connor's work because we will learn to identify a voice. We'll give it a name and we'll talk to it every day. So thank you for that lead-in.
Yes.
All right. So we will be receiving our offerings and tithes in just a few moments. I would like to introduce our chaplains, if they would stand to raise their hand as they are able. Our chaplains are here for you, to know the truth for you in total confidentiality. Thank you. Thank you, chaplains. A few more things that I want to say to you. I already said the thing about hospitality. Thank you again ahead of time. Prosperity Plus is starting in the beginning of October. It's going to be led by Lisa Natoli and Bill Free. This is one of our favorite prosperity class. Mary Mann Morrissey is the best teacher, and you get an hour of her on a DVD at the beginning of the class, and then you have discussion. And your life will shift. You are going to create a vision. This is what you're going to do. This is what I did. I took this for I probably facilitated it 6 times. You turn counterclockwise. Then you say, I am so happy and grateful now that I am living with my family on land where I can keep my horse and I'm living on top of my barn. Guess what? That's what I'm doing. So it's a great way to create a vision and then to bring it into manifestation. So join Prosperity Plus. The Gratitude Gala is November 8th, and it is time to get ready. So this is a great night of sharing with friends and dancing and having a beautiful meal, and there's a wonderful auction that will be occurring. So if you're thinking, I hope everybody's thinking about something they can donate to the auction. But what I just want to say today is sign up and get your tickets now. now in the bookstore. Choose your meal. It's $45 a ticket until some date in October, and then it goes up, so look out. And a great idea, get a whole table for $360. 8 people sit together. It's a great way to get with your friends, and it's a great way to bring people from the outside, people who have never been to Unity. What a wonderful introduction. It's the biggest celebration we have in the year, and wouldn't you love to bring your friends to that celebration? So I invite you to do that. Let's see. Okay, Bill Free and Lisa Natoli are getting married, and they're inviting everyone. Isn't that beautiful? But they would like you to sign up because it's helpful to know how many people are coming for the caterer. So there's a sign-up sheet out in the fellowship area. Please indicate if you're coming. Goldie Kimball's last Sunday with us. Goldie, can you come on up here? I know I've seen you. Come on up here. Goldie is moving to Florida, another one of those. The warm weather ones. Oh, Goldie, can you just join me in giving a wonderful blessing to Goldie? Oh, Goldie, you have been the light of God expressing. You have served as a chaplain. You've served in the welcome team. I know you've been in many other forms of service. You just have been such a light. And we have seen a total transformation in Goldie since she's been here. Oh, my gosh. So, Goldie, we love you. We bless you. We truly appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. God, the Spirit goes with you.
This is doing the Prosperity Plus. This is one of my dreams that I wrote. In it, I got my van. Now I have a mobile home, single wide, on a half acre of land. And the rent is $450. I could not say no to that. So take that class. And the other one is Life of Prayer. That did a big transformation for me. And I'm going to miss you all. I'll have to come back and visit when it's nice weather. Yeah, you can all come down. Satsuma, Florida.
One more thing I wanted to say. We have one of our units, our largest unit, Unit 4. We would love to rent it. It really helps us when it's occupied. It needs to be cleared out. And so John Wernsdorfer is going to be out there after the service today. There is a lot of things that we put in the yard sale that are still in there. You have your truck there today. So what time do you want to get out there right after the service? Or
After the service, as soon as we can, by 12:30, I'm going to start loading whatever's left and start getting it out of there.
Super. So if you can help strong arms, any arms, little things could be helpful too. So we really appreciate having you there. Okay. Okay, I think it's time for some more music, isn't it? Oh, I forgot that part. Oh, see, you did it to me again. But nothing and no one is against me. So would anyone like to share what unity means to me in 1 minute or less? Is there any principles, anything that's moving in your life, anything that you've noticed because you have come to unity and you are using these principles? Would anyone like to share with us today? Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, that's really good. You can do it from right there. You're going to get the...
Okay, oh God. Pressure! This is really pressure. Okay, no pressure. I'm just going to say unity means everything to me. And some people who are chaplains read my email yesterday. I, for the last 2 weeks, have been back and forth to New Jersey because my mom is ill. She's in the hospital, and she's not going home. And so I'm in that place that many of you have been in or will be in of becoming a parent to my mom and working with my sister, and also to really be compassionate and loving around knowing that in her current mental state, she can't care for herself. And so unity means everything for me. But I have to say, yesterday I was on the train back from New York, and I was kind of just debriefing with a friend of mine what the last couple of weeks had been like, and feeling just a bit hopeless in the moment. And I went up to get a cup of coffee, came back to my seat, and this hand came back from the seat in front of me, a little hand. And so with a little piece of paper. So I grabbed the piece of paper, and it wasn't somebody saying, could you shut up? I'm sick of hearing your problems on the train, like keep it to yourself. It was a note that said, my name is Betty. I have prayed for you and your mother. And basically I don't remember the exact words, but that, you're being held in the arms of God, both of you, and you're being guided. So I thought, whoa. So that was like, I think I'm over my minute. That was like unity principles in spades. And then I peeked over the seat a little bit. I actually I took a business card and I just wrote back, thank you for your kindness, God bless, and I passed it back. So I actually never spoke to her. And then when I left the train, I looked to see what this woman was. And she was probably in her 60s with like curly hair. And if anybody has ever seen The Matrix, she looked just like the Oracle, honest to God. I mean, I'm like, whoa. She did. She was a woman of color with the curly, kind of grayish hair, and she was about the same age. And I was like, woo. So anyway, that's my story. Thank you.
Thank you. Bless you. She did terrific, huh? All right. Oh, we better bless the tithes and offerings. Okay. So holding your offering in your hand. We spoke earlier about creating conditions for the wonderful world that you want to experience and create in your life. Giving is one of the ways that we create the conditionings to create an opening for Spirit. So let's hold our offering in our hand and bless it. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you. Thank you, Charlie.
So this song is called Wave After Wave. So I get to travel all over Italy, Hawaii, and beyond. So I wrote this sitting on a cliff in Hawaii, just watching wave after wave coming in. And it seemed like a great metaphor, just kind of how life polishes us, wave after wave. So there'll be a place to sing. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. Sing that with me. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. I'm lost in useless patterns that seemed so comfortable, and things that used to work are now unbearable. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. Oh, wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. Your love is like a garden that you keep offering. You wrap me in that fragrance and I keep opening. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave. I'm letting down the wall. Oh, wave after wave after wave after wave after wave. I'm letting down the wall. I'm lost in useless patterns that seemed so comfortable, and things that used to work are now unbearable. Wave after wave after after wave after wave after wave. I'm letting down the wall. Oh, wave after wave after wave after wave after wave. I'm letting down the wall. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Can I say a couple of words? Thank you. Just I want to sorry, like I'm interrupting the service again. Just wanted to mention, again, remember today at noon, we're going to have a lot of concert. Remember I talked about with music, to journey with music, all these openings happen. It's beautiful. I'll keep you involved a lot. And then we take a little break. In the shorter second half, there's a little spiritual workshop exercise that involves doing a little spiritual inventory, just kind of checking in with yourself at this point. It's also really beautiful, and then we'll finish with a song. Tomorrow evening, the Heart of A Course in Miracles. How many people here, you've heard of A Course in Miracles but never really done much with it? Is it a bunch of you? If you're curious, it's a great introduction, so you get like a sense of it. It won't be just me talking. Again, I'll get you involved. So you'll know some of these principles from the inside out. You'll get to own them instead of just kind of hear. It's not me cramming information into you. And also, how many people have you been doing a student for a long time with A Course in Miracles? You'll also really enjoy it because it's a different twist on looking at it. Lastly, come see me at my CD table. Also, if you want to come to Italy with me last minute, who wants to come to Italy with me next? There's a flyer about a spiritual retreat and a CC late next month, so come see me about that too. Thank you.
Yeah. Very beautiful. Come on up. Thanks. And which we'll bless first? Well, I think we'll bless the offerings first. Oh, Holy Spirit, you have moved in this room. We have felt you. We have seen you in each other's eyes. And we know these offerings are filled with the will and the work that we allow you to do through us. We see these offerings expand. Thank you, God. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, David. And more blessings. And bless all the prayers of our prayer box. We know that those who have given the prayer and those who receive the prayer are thrice blessed. The Spirit moves in right and perfect ways. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So just some general gratitude, but I'd actually, deep gratitude for everybody who is in service in this community. We are so blessed. And I would like to ask the board members, any board members that are here? Kathy Kenyon, John is over there. Kate McKay is here. Yeah, okay. She is a new board member, if you didn't realize that. Kate McKay, stand up again so people can realize that you are a new board member. So if you have any questions or concerns, be sure to see one of our board members. All right, and let's welcome Meg Rain. Yes.
The song fell out of the sky, and thank you, Charlie. I thought you were supposed to look before you leaped, but I guess you leap and then you look. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's go. I hope you put your hands together. This is called Look to the Light. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trouble and I feel the pain, tired of living and afraid of change. Joy and freedom are mine to claim. Gotta turn it all over, God's holy name, and look to the light. Look to the light, gotta look to the light. Look to the light, look to the light. Look to the light, heart of darkness, there's just one thought. It's the gift we came with, it's the blessing we brought. It calls us in, it'll carry us out. That great big love I'm talking about, you just look to the light. Look, look, look to the light. You've got to look, look, look to the light. Oh yeah. Look, look, look to the light. Look, look, look to the light.
You are amazing. She wrote that for this day. Hallelujah. Woo! Let's welcome in the Youth and Family Ministry.
Namaste. I had the older kids today, and we talked about how God created the earth and created us, and so it's kind of our job to co-create with God, and we talked about things we can do to co-create and make a better world.
Hello. I just have one announcement today. We are looking for a preschool teacher in Youth Ed. If anyone has time, once a month. It is a paid position, and we would gladly have you. You can work once a month, or you can work 4 times a month. Thank you.
All right. Oh, Balin wants to pray. So everybody, this is Charlie. I'd like you to meet him. He was our guest today. And you all want to help me pray? Awesome. Charlie, you want to come to the back? You get to sneak out the back, Jack. And let's rise and sing our peace song. Make a new plan.
Family all are we.
today, don't forget, leap, look, and listen.
The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and we are richly blessed. Thank you.